Hello my people, welcome back to today's tutorial. Welcome to ERD Stitches YouTube channel. So in today's tutorial we're going to learn how to make this beautiful Maxi gown. So I will say a big thank you to my returning subscribers and those that are stopping by for the channel. I say a very big welcome, and please don't leave without subscribing to my channel. Subscribe to support me, it means a great deal to me. And also share my videos to others, your friends, so that they can benefit from it. So let's go to the cutting table. But before we start cutting, I would like to appeal to you that today's cutting will be on the floor because of the length of the fabrics you are working with. So we're going to cut on the floor. So permit me to use the floor today. So this is the fabrics we'll be using for this tutorial. This is an Ankara fabric and I have about 6 years here, and I'm not sure I'm going to exhaust the 6 years. So I've spread our fabrics on the floor, so I'm going to pick one end of it this way and I'll turn it. So this is what I have now. So the round waist measurement I'm working with is at 8 inches. So I'm going to, that 8 inches divided by 4 will give me 9.5 inches. So I'm going to get my 9.5 inches now. This is my 9.5 inches. Then I'm adding 1.5 inches seam allowance. So at this point now is where I'm taking my measurements. Then the length of the gown I'm working with is 62 inches and my half length is 18 inches. So this is my 18 inches half length and this is my 62 inches. So I'm going to measure my 62 inches round to get the length of this flare. So I've marked the full length. What I did is that I placed my 18 inches half length here, then the full length of 62. I'll now mark. That's what I did. I keep moving it. I will mark my full length. I keep moving it. I mark. That's how I got this. So now I'm going to cut out. I'll cut here, then I'll maintain here this way till the full length here, then I will cut here. When you look at this very well, you see that this side is not complete, so I will attach another fabric here to complement this place that is not complete. So I will show you how to do that one, but first I'll cut out this. So for this part now that is not complete, I'm going to complete it now. But you can see that it has pattern here, so you have to make sure that the patterns are lined together. That's it. And also you make sure that the wrong side is facing up, because my wrong side is facing up. So if your right side is facing up, everything will face up right side. If it's the wrong side that is facing up, you make sure that the wrong side also face up. Okay, I think this will go. So you have to put it on top of each other. You see what I just did here now? So I'm going to use my pin to pin it down. Now, you see what I did? You see the patterns? I've aligned it together now. You see it? So I'm going to pin it down, then turn it to the other side and cut it out. So I'm going to cut it this way now, and also this way. So this is it now. So I will use this now to cut the back. So this is what I just did. You can see this is my folded edge, and I left like 1 inch here for my zipper allowance for the back. So now I'm going to now cut it out using this. So I will just cut it from here this way, then this way. That's what I'm going to do now. So this is what we have now. I'm going to remove the front and use the back to cut another one, because the back is supposed to be 2 pieces. So now we are going to cut out our half length. I'm going to cut the front first before the back. This is my startup line. I hope this thing is visible. Let me change chalk. So this is my startup line. This is my bust line. This is my under bust line, and this is my waistline. So now I'm going to input my shoulder measurement. The shoulder measurement I'm working with is 8.5 inches. So I'm going to input it on this my startup line. This is my 8.5 inches here. So I will input my neck width of 3 inches here. So I'm going to slope the shoulder with 1 inch. This is the 1 inch. So I'll connect it to these 3 inches here. Now I'm going to take my armhole depth. The round armhole I'm working with is 18 inches. When you divide it by 2, it will be 9 inches. So because I've removed 1 inch, I'm taking 8 inches from this my shoulder slope. So this is my 8 inches here. So I'm going to measure my 8.5 inches for the shoulder here, so that I will be sure that my measurements corresponds with each other. So I'll have to connect the armhole line. So this is my armhole line now. So I'm taking my bust span measurement now. The bust span measurement I'm working with is 5 inches. I'm taking it both on the waistline, under bust line, and the bust line. That's where I will input the 5 inches. Then I will connect it together. So I've connected it. So on this my waistline now, I'm taking 2.5 inches. I'm also taking the same on my under bust line, 2.5 inches. So these 2.5 inches I took, now I have to connect it together. I have to connect the points together. This is it. So these 2.5 inches, I'm going to divide it into 2. That will give me 1.25 of an inch. I'll connect the points. This is my under bust line. So at this my under bust line, I'm going up by 3/4 of an inch. On this middle line I just created now, I went up with 3/4 of an inch. That is this point. So I'll put my curve ruler from this my bust point line now. I have to curve it to touch this 3/4 of an inch I went up with, and now connect it to meet this my that leg here. So I'll just put my curve ruler. I'm using this curve here. So from this my bust span line, I'll just put the curve ruler there. I'll make sure that it touches that my going up of 3/4 of an inch, then on my that leg. Then I will not connect. That's to cover my cup. I'm trying to cover my cup now. So this is the cup I created now. This is my cup. So now at this my armhole leg, armhole depth here, I'm going to get the middle point. Then I will connect this here with a line, a straight line this way from my bust point line. I'll just connect it this way. So this is it now. So I'm going to step down here by 1 inch. So at this point, I'm going to step forward here by 1.5 inches. So this 1 inch, I will curve it this way. I will connect it. So I've connected it. Then I'm going to step it up by 1.5 inches, like I said earlier. 1.5 inches. You can take 1 inch, but I like taking. It's better I have excess than it shorten. So from this 1.5 inches now, that's where I will curve my armhole from. That's my new armhole now. I'm going to curve my armhole from that 1.5 inches. So I'm trying to curve my armhole now. So this is my armhole curve now. This is my new armhole curve for the cup. So now I'm going to input my body measurements. So the bust I'm working with is 42 divided by 4 will give me 10.5 inches. So this is my 10.5 inches here. I need 1/2 inch on this side and 1/2 inch here to join this when I cut it out, that making it 1 inch. So I'm going to input the 1 inch here. Then I will also input my sewing allowance of 2 inches. 2 inches. Then at my waistline, the waist and more is 38 inches. That is 9.5 inches. This is 9.5 inches. Remember, I removed 2.5 inches. I'm going to return it because when I cut it out, this my 9.5 inches will be minus 2.5 inches. So I'm going to return the 2.5 inches. This is it. I need 1/2 inch here, 1/2 inch here to join when I cut. So I will also return the 1 inch. Then I will now input my 2 inches. So now I'm going to connect the points together. So I'll connect this way. Then I'll also connect to my waistline. I have to blend it. So this by the time I show it, it will balance. So now I'm going to, before I cut it out, I have to go to my neck to input the neck depth I need. So the neck depth I need is about, I need about 7 inches. 7 inches. 7 inches. So now I'm going to curve my neck. I'm going to curve the neck now. I'm trying to give it a curve. So this is it now. So now I'm going to cut this out. No. So I'm cutting out the neck now. So now I'm going to cut the back pattern. This is my zipper allowance. This is my center front of the center front. So I'm using it now to cut the back. So I'm going to press everything I have here. I'm pressing it. I'll just press it down. Look at I follow the pattern also. It's very important because this thing has pattern. So it's very important to follow the pattern. So now that I've traced it, the back neck depth, I'm using about I'm using 4 inches for the back. This is my 4 inches. So I'm covering the back neck depth. So I'm going to lift this up now. Then I input my measurement, or I can leave it like this and input my measurement. So how my measurement starts from this center front here now, not on the zipper allowance area, from the center front. So on this my chest line, I will measure. That's why I will input my bust. The bust I'm working with is 11.5 inches, which is here. Then plus 2 inches. The waist I'm working with is 9.5 inches, which is here, plus 2 inches. So I'm going to connect it together. I'll just connect it this way. So as I connected it this way now, on this my armhole line now, I have to input my armhole. So the armhole I'm working with is 8.5 inches, 9 inches. Then I will input 8 inches here. This is my armhole. This is my armhole right here. So this is my armhole. So from this mid now, I will curve my armhole. I hope you see what I did there. So now I have to cut this out. So on this area, I have to connect it with a straight line so that it will be equal before I cut it out. Then I can decide to leave this one up. So this is my back. I don't need to take any down. By the time I cut it and sew, the back will fit in. So I'll just cut it. Meanwhile, I'm cutting just one side of the back. When I cut it out, I will use it to cut the remaining side. Okay, this is our wording, and this is the pepper stay. We call this pepper stay here in Nigeria. It's very soft, the softest type. See the way it is. So this is what we'll be using. We are not going to use our regular wording, so I'll keep the wording aside. So now I'm going to use my already cut fabrics to cut out this wording and this pepper stay. I'm actually going to cut like four pieces for each. This is my center front and these are the two sides fronts. I'll cut 4 pieces for this, 4 pieces for this, and also 4 pieces for this. You can even increase it to 5, 6, 7 depending on how strong you want the padding to be, but I'm going with 4 pieces for this. So this is for my center front. As you can see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 for the center front. So these are for the side. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 for one of the sides, and this one also I have 1, 2, 3, 4 for the other side. So what I'm going to do is so simple. For this side now, just bring the pepper stay. You know that the pepper stay, there is the side that can gum, so I have to lay that side can gum on my fabrics, arrange it very well. So this is one, this is the second one, so this is it, this is the third one, and this is the fourth one. So as I've laid the 4 together this way, I'm going to iron it on my fabrics. I will also do same to the center front and the other side. Okay, I'm done gumming the pepper stay on my fabrics. This is the 4 pieces. This is the 4 pieces I gummed here. Also cut out lining for it. I'm also going to pad my lining with pepper stay. So for the back, I've got my interface on it, pepper stay. These are the 2 sides, and these are the 2 center fronts for the back. So the lining, the same thing, I have 2. So for this back now, I'm going to put it this way. I'm going to put the side, then I will arrange it and sew. I will do same to this one also with this, and also I will do same to the lining. Then for the front piece, just open it up this way. I'll just bring this, make sure that I match my underbust to underbust and my bust point to bust point. I'll just put it together and use my pin to arrange it well before I sew. So this is it. I've pinned it down. So I'm going to my machine now to sew it. You see, by the time I finish sewing it, I just want to turn it so that you see it. I've not even sewn it. I just use pin to hold it, and you see the way it's standing. So that you can achieve it without wording. Only with the pepper stay you can achieve your padding. So now I'm going to sew. By the time I sew, I will show you what it look like, and I will also do same to the lining. Okay, I'm done sewing my bust here, and this is what I have. So it's remaining for me to iron it out, and everything will stand. I see the way it's standing. I didn't put anything under. See it? This is the inside. You see it? So if this tutorial has been helpful, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and also subscribe to my channel to support me. Look at the cup as it came out. This is it. It doesn't necessarily mean that you must use wording to pad your bust. There are many other ways to achieve it. Okay guys, this is our back fabrics. Okay, now this is my front half length. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to fold it this way to get the center front, because I want to notch the center front. I'm going to notch the center front. So I just put it this way, then I'm going to notch my center front, and this is my flay. I'm also notching the center front of the flare. So now I'll bring my flare, I'll open it up, open up my half length this way. So I'll also open up my flare. I'll make sure my center front of the flare match with the center front of my half length. Then I will now arrange it and sew. I have to pin it down and sew. I will also pin this side also down and sew. Then this for the front. The back piece, I'll just get the back piece like this. I will get one of the back flare. Make sure you match it right side facing each other. I'll put it. Remember where your zipper allowance is, because this your zipper allowance is straight, is not curved like the side. So I'll put it right side facing each other. See the notch for my zipper allowance here. I'll put, this one I've collected half to fold it in. So I make sure that the notch for the zipper allowance match each other. Then you see that it's equal. I will pin it down and sew. I'll do same to the other side. So I'm done joining my half length to the flare. So for this back piece now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take from this my half length, I'm taking 7 inches. So from this 7 inches, I will sew down, close it down with 1 inch seam allowance, which is my zipper allowance now. Then I will fix my zipper before I will now go ahead to shape the clothes. But before we shape, once I'm done fixing the zipper, I will show you how to shape. Okay, I'm done fixing the zip. So now I'm going to sew my pocket because I'm using pocket on this. So what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to, from this my half length, I'll come down by 2 inches. Then I'll put this my pocket this way, right side facing each other, this way. Put it this way and sew it with 1 inch. I put on the other this side also, sew with one side, the 1 inch. I put at the front, the 2 sides of the front, and sew with 1 inch also. Okay, now we are going to join the shoulder of my dress, of my gown. For those of us that don't know how to join shoulder, it's very simple. Just bring your front shoulder, arrange it very well. Bring the back, make sure your fabrics match with each other. Arrange it very well. Then flip your lining over. Hope you are seeing what I'm doing. You cannot see the fabrics from this side. You flip your lining over this way. Arrange your lining. Let everything align together. Then you sew with your seam allowance. That's what I'm going to do here now. I will also do the same to this side. Then when I'm done doing it to this side, I will shape my gown with 1 inch seam allowance on both sides. This is what I have now after joining the shoulder and also shaping the both sides of my gown. So what I'm going to do next now is to fix my sleeve. Once I fix the sleeve now, the gown will be ready. So you will choose the sleeve that you would like to put. Any sleeve can go with it. So I'm going to fix a balloon sleeve to it. And if you don't know how to cut and sew balloon sleeve, check on my channel. I've posted a video of how to do that on my channel. So because of that, I'm going to fix the sleeve now off camera. So this is what I have now after fixing the sleeve to the gown. This is the finished work. This is how our gown look now, and this brings us to the end of this tutorial. I will say thank you for watching till the end. See you all in our next tutorial. Stay blessed in Jesus' name. Amen.